Anybody sign up on this?
No.
Thank you. Okay, any, boards and committee reports tonight? Agenda items this evening for our council meeting or an old business is permission to proceed with removal of the in-place tank closure at the Wetumpka Municipal Airport. And Julie has that. This is the second time that it's been on the agenda, so we can move forward with that. And then item 2 on the old business is to approve herbicide applications on the riverbank. Chapel has spoken to that last week, and this is the second time it's been on the agenda. And then item 3 would be to approve new power meter at 311 East Tallahassee Street. That is for the river walk, and that is the second time on the agenda, so we can take action on that tonight. And the new business this evening is permission for the library board chair to sign a contract with Alabama Public Library Service for the ARPA grant. Susan, you want to
Sure.
real quickly tell us what that's about?
Okay, well, the state library has chosen to use the ARPA funds to put new computers in libraries all over the state. So we're going to get 16 of them here, which is awesome. And so I'm just here to ask permission to go ahead and move forward with that grant and to get our library board to sign off. And the next step would be for the state library director to approve that signature, and it comes back to us and we can start ordering the computers.
That's under a grant. That's under the ARPA grant.
Right, it's federal money,
Is there any match on that grant?
no match whatsoever. It's a great opportunity.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and item 5 on the new business, permission to purchase a vehicle for the senior center from Al Dollar, the cost of $14,781. Dakota has followed up on that. We did get insurance money that will cover part of this from the vehicle that was destroyed in the tornado. So there is some coverage in there, but we'll be paying the difference in that, get that vehicle back in place. And we really kind of snatched them around since the tornado. They get a vehicle, and somebody like Clay would go get the vehicle and take it to the city center, and then other people would get the vehicle, so they just kind of been, well, you did do it.
That's not our workers.
Okay. All right.
I couldn't
Is
take
that-
them back, huh?
Well, anyhow, when she gets this one, don't go get her vehicle.
Well, is that why we're buying a pickup truck, so they can't ride in the bed of it?
Now, we're gonna use straight chairs in the back.
Oh.
You silly idiot, you use them. Okay, and then item 6 on the new business ordinance 2021-2 amendment to the zoning ordinance regarding hotel, transit lodging, and tourist home, bed and breakfast. And Justin, you got that?
Yes, sir. That, this is an amendment to the zoning ordinance that was written around 2000, to address something that was not an issue then, that is an issue now. We're not limiting any use of anything, we're just further defining, how these terms are fine and where they're allowing the zoning ordinance to determine how they fall under the zoning ordinance rather than our interpretation of it. So,
On each individual case.
right, so it makes it more black and white. If you're in business, this is what it is. If you're a resident, this is what it is. This is how we treat each one. Today, there's gray area in there on the interpretation, so this would make it more black and white.
And that upgrade is in this packet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
When I find it.
You don't have any questions on this? Okay, well, you've got the next 2 weeks to research it. We'll move forward with that. Item 7 is permission to receive bids for the installation of parking and security lights for the home side parking area at the new football field. We're gonna throw a bunch of stuff at you tonight about parking and lighting and stuff like that. Steve came by today, and we were talking about it at that point in time. And, but just trust us, there is a way to make this work. And the paving deal too that goes with this. You want to speak to this, or how do you cover the whole thing? You got about 4 items there.
Yes, sir. The first item, number 7, is for the home side. The county is doing the paving part of it. Our portion would just be for the lighting. So this is to provide security lighting when there is no events, and then the proper amount of lighting for events. We'll be able to switch, it'll be automatic, switch on those on and off. So that's for the home side. And for the visitor side, which is near the baseball stadium, that is item number 8. And we would like to consider to pave that whole area, so there will be no gravel parking. This will include some concrete plumbing, some additional inlets to handle stormwater, and then pave the whole thing, the road in, behind the visitor, the VIP building, and everything will be paved, asphalt.
So this is permission to receive bids. We're not.
We have an estimate from the county for that, and it's $390,000 to pave. It's almost 4 acres to pave the entire road in, behind the VIP building, the visitors side, to do the grading in the area, and add the inlets and the concrete there, concrete plumbing there too. So that's to address everything on that side from a paving standpoint.
So what you're asking for tonight is permission to receive bids.
No, the county has an estimate for this. Okay, let me back up we don't have to bid this. The county already has bids for asphalt paving. So the county's gonna pave it for us and send us an invoice, basically is how that's gonna work. So it's already been bid out by the ton. The county maintains a yearly contract of asphalt by the ton.
And I got that. This is to receive bids, parking and security lights.
Yes,
We can do the permission to receive bids, even though this is the first time it's on the agenda.
yeah, so item number 7, the county has paid for the engineering for the lights for the home side, and we need to receive bids for that. I skipped that.
So we can take action on that tonight,
Sorry.
permission to bid that. Okay, go ahead and talk about item 8, have you covered?
That's how I discovered that's gonna be with the county. So I'm sorry about that.
They've already put their bid in to pay.
Okay.
And I might add on that, he's not bragging on himself any, but he's worked on this project, and this is gonna save us somewhere between $70,000 and $100,000 on this pavement if we go ahead and do it while we enter into contract with the county. If we wait and do this later, we're gonna lose at least $75,000.
We're getting their bulk price for
The
asphalt.
prices are considerably lower now.
Right, to pair it with item number 9. So,
Okay, now you want to give us a breakdown on 9 with the Hopewell Road, Hopewell Highway?
yeah, so this is, again, into an agreement with the county to pave and strike these things. This is under their normal, these have already been bid out. The estimates are in your package here. So this is North Bridge Street, basically from Hopewell Highway there at the cemetery into the back entrance of the sports complex. Northwest Main from Hopewell Highway south to Osceola Street. And Hopewell Highway from the 14 bypass intersection to Mechanic Street. So right there at that same intersection where the cemetery.
Okay, now what stretch is it that we are not doing at this particular time? Isn't there a little?
From Mechanic Street south to the bridge.
We're not doing that at this time. We will come back and do that.
We have additional funding to do that later.
Okay. But $125,000 120, 125,000 of this is money given to us by DOT.
Yes, as part of taking 111, they gave us $125,000 to pay. And we're gonna start at Highway 14 bypass and go down Hopewell Highway, where however far $125,000 takes. And we've estimated that at the end about Mechanic Street. And that's
All right. Anything else on that?
no, sir.
Folks, this is a little bit confusing, but they've been working on this for some time now, putting this together and working hand in hand with the county and to get us the best deal that we could possibly get and doing this work at this particular time. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
I just want to say, I like the idea of the whole thing being paid. You know, if you just had the home side, the visitor side of the custody, which of course a lot of times certain visitors we like for to be custody, but, you know, it's still a little much more professional.
Okay, this is, and we will have a discussion. This is asking you to allow us to enter into agreement or permission to enter into contract or permission to receive bids. That's all in these three different items, 7, 8, 9. But we'll have a little work session and talk about some of the funding that we will need to make this happen. And there's a way I explained to Steve today when he came by, how we can do that and go ahead and wrap this project up. Any questions?
I'm not sure this would be time to ask this, but how much parking will there be on the home side?
The home side, I believe it was between 500 and 550 spaces. And then what we propose here is another 350 on the visitor side.
That also takes care of the parking that goes along with the tennis courts
Yes,
and anything else that's going to be built over there
on the home side.
on the home side, the soccer fields and that kind of stuff. So it takes care of all of that parking. Okay. And then item 10 this evening on the new business is permission for the village artist to host an art walk on Court Street the first Friday of every month. This is something they've been doing up on the up end of Company Street, and due to the construction and everything there, the liabilities with all the construction, it was mentioned about relocating, and when they started looking at relocating, they came up with the idea, well, we like this, can we just permanently move down to Court Street and in front of the Chamber of Commerce, and then have the ability to use Commerce, which is in front of the courthouse. I think it's a better work, much better working situation for us, that there's no through traffic that has to be blocked for any of that. So certainly we want to work with them for the event, and then we'll bring that for you tonight to grant the permission. Any questions on this?
I have one out of curiosity. Is this sponsored by the Chamber for Main Street, or who sponsors this?
Village artist.
That's a good question, which we probably need to, it's going to be up to the council, but we need to know if it has the proper liability insurance. Who's going to be responsible? If it's going to be under the city and someone else manages this show or this event under the city's umbrella, or is it under the Chamber's umbrella? Is it under Main Street's umbrella?
I asked the Chamber and I asked Main Street. They are not involved. Now they're encouraged, they want it to happen because it helps local businesses,
Yeah.
but they are not a part of it at all in terms of promotion.
Well, it needs to find a home somewhere, wouldn't you think, in order to have the proper protection for.
And I would add that it needs to be limited. I mean, right now, he's asking for basically every Friday of every month. Well, it's a long time. From here to eternity, I mean, what's our time limit? Is something else to be considered? Is it the next few months, next 12 months? You know, they want that. And whatever the council decides.
Give me some discussion that, you know, what would you like to see? Would you like to see a certain time period and come back and revisit it, make sure everything's doing okay, and then instead of just a blank, you know?
So right now, whereas community market is set through months, right? The first Thursday, the art walk is the first Friday of every month, infinitely, even January.
In the winter time.
So, but I mean, so they don't have established months though.
But they still come in and fill out an application every month, right? They come in just like the car shows.
They're gonna need to.
They're gonna need that.
They're gonna need to
That's
do
what they have
that.
amended supersedes it. We can have,
I received a singles permit. Filled out by Mr. Sawyer.
Um,
Well, Dickens Christmas is, usually like the first weekend, and that's Friday night and Saturday. of December.
But Mayor, it was just for the one time this month.
just this month coming up. I think they want to be able to plan that we're going to have this event, but still, and again, you got to come in and make application with Valencia, and that each month.
I think that's the right thing to do.
So how do we need to word this?
Well, if you grant it, I would just grant it for this month, and then we can just communicate that to Mr. Sawyer.
Okay, that'll give us time to get all that worked out, right? Everybody okay with that?
You can put in their motion a time limit, because you're talking about having them come to the council every month.
Unless y'all tell me otherwise.
Well, I don't
They're
think,
gonna have to ask the police department every month, unless we tell them otherwise.
we need some way that he doesn't have to come to the council every month, but he has to do the application. And
So like community market, when he not established a certain month, he's going to do it.
Community market runs through November, the
Right.
Thursday before that, and you will run into Dickens Christmas that first Friday
Right,
in December.
right. So if he just establishes which months he wants to do it, and December's off the table. January's freezing cold, February. What is, I mean, concurrently with all those, community markets.
we want this to happen. We want to make sure this happens and do what we can to support that, but still, and again, we want to handle it correctly.
It's certainly a big draw. I mean, if it down there,
Yes, it is.
just as y'all have, and, I just, was trying to get some clarification on that. I didn't know who sponsored it, and, like we're talking about, some clarification on what we're doing here, not just giving them a free pass for every Friday, first Friday of the month. Have a little more information on it.
Marcia comes in every month and fills out their application.
Let's do this, Justin. If we can grant for the show, upcoming show that he wants to have, and then in the meantime, get back with them, work it out, and get something that the council agrees on that, how it's going to be handled on a monthly basis until we just need a way to make it work.
I agree.
Okay? Y'all okay with that? Okay. All right, that's what we have on the agenda for this evening, so we'll call the council meeting to order. And invocation this evening be given by Councilperson Gant and the pledge by Councilperson Justice.
Let us pray. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together as a city and do things that are best things for this city. We're just so lucky and so proud of the people that have helped to make this city what it is today. And there's so many improvements that happen, it really makes us think of all our people that came before us and the volunteers, and how proud they would be of our city. We ask you when we come today that there's some people that have a lot of sorrow, that have had problems with weather and terrible traffic accidents. We ask you to be with their families and these organizations. In Christ's name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins.
Here.
Councilmember Tucker. Here. Councilmember Justice.
Here.
Councilmember Gann.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Mayor Willis.
Here. You received in your packets copies of the minutes of the council meeting held on June 7, 2021. Any corrections to those minutes? If not, do we have a motion for approval? I got two of them. What they have? Got this one for the motion. Justice? Did Brown have a second?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so those have been approved. Under old business, before we get into this item one, Juneteenth was supposed to have been in the park this Saturday, and we had some precipitation in the park, didn't allow it to happen. And Councilperson Tucker has asked for the possibility of hosting that event this coming Saturday, okay? Same time in the park. Okay, you guys, no problem there. So is the council in agreement to just transfer that application, change the date on that application? Sure. Okay. So we'll do that. Thank you, Ms. Dutton.
Thank you.
Okay, item one will be permission to proceed with removal of the in-place tank closure at Wetumpka Airport. Julie, everything on the go out there?
Yes, sir. Everything's ready. Just need y'all to approve it so we can move forward.
Okay. So we'll be entertaining a motion for this approval.
So moved.
Okay, do we have a second? I got him. Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that has been, permission has been granted. Okay, item two, approve herbicide application on the river bank. This is vegetation control that we have done in the past, and this is coming back and renewing this application. So do we have approval to move forward with this herbicide application?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that approval has been given. Then item three, approve new power meter at 311 East Allison Street for the River Walk. And that was on last time. We didn't have a base, we have a monthly price on that.
We don't, because we can't get it till we get it installed. It's, I couldn't estimate.
So that'll go in on the list with all the many other power meters that we have throughout the city, right?
Yes. It'd be a long list, somebody would have to look at each month.
Yeah.
I might mention on that vegetation control spraying, that's gonna be added in or in requested to be put in with the contract next time we renew the contract. So if you can remember that, Chapel has worked with him, and he's not here tonight because he had 6 children. So, that's why he's not here tonight. But he's worked with them to put this into the contract for the next time we review it. So we won't be doing it by, requisition anymore once we do get the contract.
So it'll be the overall contract that we have with Killis.
Yes. Yes. And on those lights, those are LED lights, so we hadn't had much experience with what they cost, and I don't remember exactly how many. I think it's 13 on that one side. This is half the river walk, the other half is already turned on. The new river walk on the north end from the paint center to the ball fields.
We're just waiting on that. Once we get these meter in over there, we're waiting on the asphalt.
Concrete.
Concrete,
We
that's right.
changed that. That's why we hold it up, so we changed it.
We get the concrete, and it's my understanding that it's coming the 1st of August.
That's when they gonna bid.
You know, I told you one time, if they built that stairway to heaven in less time than we built in that river walk.
I hope more people can use that stairway.
Okay, so that gives us clarification on this, and we need a, some of the motion, okay, yeah, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Y'all know what we need. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? So that meter is going to be granted. Under new business, permission for the library board chair to sign a contract, with Alabama Public Library Service for ARPA grant. No money involved with us, so we can approve this. Need a motion?
I move we approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you for the motion and second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that has been granted. Okay, and then item 5, permission to purchase vehicle for the senior center from Aldott at a cost of $14,781. This is the first time on the agenda, and it's going to be in a lime green, right?
All line corridor.
All
And I would like to add, if we can go ahead and suspend the rules, because we can only hold the vehicle there for 7 days period, or then it opens back up, so everybody else can get it.
So the vehicle's there now, and you've got a hold on it for 7 days?
Correct, and myself and our city mechanics already been down there, test drove it, he looked at it all clear, and he said it'd be fine.
Okay, council, we need a motion to suspend the rule.
So moved.
Okay, we have the motion. Do we have a second? Second. Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Councilmember Tucker?
Yes.
Councilmember Justice?
Yes.
Councilmember Gant?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
And Mayor Lewis?
Yes. Okay, rules having been suspended, we'll move forward now for the purchase of this vehicle. I need a motion.
So moved.
Take the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
You, Robert, know it, and he woke up. Didn't he? On the far end, and any further discussion on that? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So we can move ahead with that purchase. Thank you, Dakota. And then item 6, ordinance 2021-2, amendment to the zoning ordinance regarding motel, transit lodging, and tourist hall bed and breakfast. This is the first time on the agenda. Does that get advertised?
It does, we need to read it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it will get advertised, twice, 15 days before. All right, so first read ordinance number 2021-02, an ordinance to amend ordinance 99-4, zoning ordinance of the city of Wetumpka, Alabama. Whereas the city of Wetumpka recognizes the need for updating and amending from time to time the standards established to govern the use of land, including but not limited to zoning districts and the regulation of uses within those districts. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Wetumpka, Alabama, that ordinance number 99-4 is hereby amended in the following manner. 1, Article 3, Section 33.0/definitions shall be amended to change the definition of motel to read as follows. Motel/transient lodging, a building or group of buildings used for the temporary occupancy of transients or persons not of the immediate family for compensation for a definite period of time up to 30 days. 2, Article 4, Section 62.0, Table 6.1, Chart of Uses Allowed. A, amend B4 to allow motel/transient lodging with a special exception. B, amend R1 to allow tourist home/bed and breakfast with special exception. C, amend B1, B2, B3, B4 to no longer allow tourist homes or bed and breakfast. The table shall read as follows: commercial uses, motel/transient lodging, R1, no, R2, 2.6, no, R3, no, R4, no, R5, no, B1, yes, B2, yes, B3 exception, B4 exception, M1, no, M2, no, RH conditional. Commercial uses, tourist home/bed and breakfast, R1 exception, R2 and 2.6 exception, R3 exception, R4 exception, R5 exception, B1 no, B2 no, B3 no, B4 no, M1 no, M2 no, and RH yes. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption and advertisement as provided by law.
Okay, it's the first reading. Okay, item 7, permission to receive bids for the installation of parking and security lights for the home side parking area at the new football field. Okay, you've heard that discussed. We need a motion to move forward to receive bids. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so this permission to receive bids has been granted. Item 8, permission to enter into contract with Elmore County Commission to pay the visitors parking area at the new sports complex. First time on the agenda, so it'll appear again in 2 weeks for action to be taken. Item 9, permission to enter into agreement with the county to pave and stripe as needed North Bridge Street from Hopewell Highway to the sports complex, Northwest Main from Osceola to Hopewell Highway, and Hopewell Highway from 14 Bypass to Mechanical. This is also the first time, so 2 weeks, it'll be back on the agenda again. Then item 10, permission for village artists to host art walk on Court Street the first Friday. Let's just say this is first Friday of what month? July. First Friday in July, okay? And then we'll work out all the details to how we get a long-term thing.
Motion to approve for July.
Okay, thank you for your motion.
Second.
Second. Chapel did. So we have a motion, we have a second. And, any discussion on this? All right, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that has been granted for July, and then we will take that up. Okay. All right. Any announcements? Okay. It's an opportunity for us to adjourn. Okay. I just want to thank the council again for, it is amazing what's going on in Wetumpka. To the phone calls that are pouring in from all over the United States and the people that are coming here. I ran into people this afternoon from Chicago, and they lived here at one time. And they talk a little different from us now. don't sound exactly like we do. They were so happy that, that this is happening in Wetumpka, and that they've been gone for years and years, but, it's amazing to see. I had a call from Bakersfield, California, that those people were coming in on, Saturday and Sunday, of course, it was wet when they got here, but, from Bakersfield, California, just to see our city and what is being done. And construction makes it difficult down there, but they are spending money. I mean, they are carrying bags out of these stores with them. It's been a long, long time since we have seen that in our city. It's encouraging to see, and our merchants are enjoying this and allowing them to be a part of the success. But it took this group, and it took all of you. The city workers have been absolutely outstanding in how they have prepared the city to present the city to the rest of the country. And we still got ways to go. There's still things that we're trying to get done. But again, just from the mayor's position, I thank you for the cooperation that the city has had. And I know that there's more to come. I think I was there this afternoon late, a call came in of a big motor coach that they're bringing, and a group of people, and wanted to know where can they park it. And I suggested Barrett Farm out on. But no, we're going to accommodate them, and we're going to find a place for them to park. But people are loving it. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Stand adjourned.